Good day, everybody. Good day. Welcome to another edition. Good day, good day, good day, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Genesis Podcast. With your host here, I'm DJ Briscoe. This is sponsored by Beat Fact Music in association with Anchor FM. Let's get down to business. I had a lot of chats with some people today, friends, people on the streets, and, anybody who's a Raptor fan knows where I'm going with this. Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers have been fined $50,000 for supposed inadequate information concerning his health or whatever it is. So last night the Clippers played the Milwaukee Bucks in Los Angeles, national televised game, and of course, if you're a Raptor fan or you're a basketball fan, you know about this load management thing that has been a regular of Kawhi for quite some time, even since his days with the Spurs. So Kawhi took the night off, and you know what happened? The Clippers lost again. They are now 0-2 without Kawhi. It's interesting how this is playing out right now. It's very, very interesting. As I said before, I don't like the roster minus Kawhi and Paul George. I feel that this team is going to rely heavily on Lou Williams until PG comes back. Lou Williams is a scoring machine, but he's also 30 years old now. And he's going to need some nights to kind of recharge because they're going to need his offense in particular games to get over the hump. You're not going to expect big points from Patrick Beverley. You're going to expect his defense paralysis to stop guys, to irritate them. Montrezl Harrell, who's an up-and-coming good basketball player, you don't need him to do all of that. Last night, there was a lot of responsibility put on this Clippers team, and I felt it was really, really unfair. I think it was unfair of the bigotry that these guys received. They're not the ones taking the night off. Kawhi's taking the night off. If you're going to look at anybody, you got to go to the Clippers organization. They enabled this situation. In the Western Conference right now, it's very, very tight. If you are a fan again, you got to go check out the standings. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's very, very tight. Every game counts, especially when you get to the playoffs, because you don't want to be traveling here, say, to Portland or Denver or Utah for a Game 7. You don't want that. Home court is so important, as you saw with the Raptors as they went through their journey to their first NBA title this past June. So I'm looking at this from a very easy and logical spectrum. If you're the Clippers, you knew you were signing this guy. You knew that load management would be a factor. There are certain games you do not take off, especially knowing that this will bite you in the butt as you get into the playoff mode. You don't take games off against Utah. You don't take games off against Milwaukee. You don't do that because you know these teams are competitive. They're playoff teams and they're teams that are going to win games. So I just look at it from this perspective that with this Kawhi Leonard situation right now, I don't blame him. I would do it too. I would take 20 games off if I could, because the Clippers are enabling the situation. The Clippers invested a lot in not only bringing him in, but bringing back PG. PG is still recovering from double shoulder surgery. We don't know what his status is and when he will be returning, right? And when he does return, he's going to be on a very limited minutes restriction, and he should be. So now what happens when Kawhi is off and PG's off? Now, if you guys are listening to this podcast right now and you're a basketball fan or you have any type of basketball knowledge or sense, you see where I'm going with this? And then now say that Kawhi takes a night off and PG's. You're going to put all the pressure on PG, who's coming off shoulder surgery. PG's going to need at least a year. I've talked to several people who are in the sports medicine business or sports physicians, and they've told me straight up, he's going to need at least a year to get his rhythm back. So, yes, he's coming back this year, but he's not going to be 100%. So don't expect him to blow up every single game. He's going to have some nights he's going to be absolutely a juggernaut, scoring and doing, both ends of the floor, because he's a former all two-time all defensive first team. That's no joke. That's a guy that could defend. He could defend from number 3 to 1, 1 to 3. This guy's, when you watch PG, he could ball, but he's coming off surgery, and you're not going to expect him to play like that every night. He's going to need to reserve his energy, keep his health intact, so come April, he's ready to go. So I just think that right now the Clippers have a problem, and they need to address it so that when it comes down to the important games, because all the important games are coming up, they're going to need to be ready for this. And you know what? Like I said before, at the end of the day, you're cheating the fans and you're cheating your sponsors. The fans that go to work 9 to 5 or work 7 days a week, who spend $350 to $400 on a ticket, they're the ones that are paying the price. I heard somebody say on ESPN, the fans don't care if Kawhi takes a night off. Well, to that person, if that was you spending your money, I think you would think differently. But they're not thinking like that because they don't care. That's the mentality of these people. And I've always said this. Once it hits your pocket, once it hits your business, once it hits your scenario and it starts to mess up your rotation, you will definitely change your tune. So for all you people there who are, whether you're in LA, Toronto, New York, Chicago, North Dakota, Vermont, or wherever you are, when you're going to an NBA basketball game, you expect to see the best players in the world, or whoever the best player on that team is, as long as he's healthy and he's ready to go. I've watched basketball for a long time, and anybody that knows me knows I watch my basketball very, very, very diligently. And I'm telling you, this load management thing is a joke. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep it 100. If you can't stay 100, then you need to take some time off, because it hurts the fans, it hurts the game, it hurts all other aspects. Now, don't get it twisted. And I'm a fan of Kawhi. I love the fact he's doing what he needs to do. Get your money, because these owners are making billions. Steven Ballmer's screaming and making all kinds of noises every single friggin' game like a fool, raking in billions of dollars. So yes, to every athlete out there, every player in the NBA who's making their money, keep making your money. Please keep making your money, because these guys are going to be making money long after you're gone. So, but you gotta play. I'm not saying play every game, but play the crucial games. I wanted to see Kawhi and Giannis yesterday. I saw Giannis taking threes like there was there's nobody's business, right? I'm like, no, and nobody was guarding him. They were letting them shoot. I was like, come on, like what's really happening here, So yeah, like I'm gonna say here on this podcast, this is a very interesting subject. We can go on and on. I mean, we could go out and say, Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Scottie Pippen, other great players, Dennis Rodman, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, Robert Parrish, I mean, we can go on and on with all the great players that played this game. Patrick Ewing with bad knees. They played 70-plus games every year. Alonzo Mourning, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin, Chris Webber when he was healthy, Juwan Howard. Like, I could keep going on with Reggie Miller. Those guys played 70-plus games a year. Check the stats. But it was a different time. But the medicine has improved now. More athletic trainers, better facilities, more access to the facilities, more access to sports medicine, more than ever before. So what's the problem? And then people are still saying there's too many games. 82 games with an extra week and a week off now for the All-Star game. Come on, guys. There's a problem here. So I feel like with this load management, it's going to piss off the wrong association or wrong sponsor, and they're going to turn around and say, you know what? We're only going to resign if certain things happen. They're going to screw with the Players Association. This is going to become a mess. Remember I said this, folks. This is going to become a mess. So we got to look at this from a serious perspective. This might be okay for the short term, but for the long term, it's going to cause a problem. So, but it's good to see LeBron not taking games off. I mean, he's going to have limited minutes in certain games when the game is a blowout, but it's good to see that he's playing every game. He's giving the fans his best. Because LeBron he's a last of the... I'll say this. He's the last of those of that breed. You're not going to see anything like him again. People say you're crazy. How can you say that, Briscoe? You're crazy. I'm telling you guys, LeBron is the last of our breed. He's not only a generational hybrid, but he's the last of our breed. You're not going to see guys like him anymore. You're going to see these guys are going to be, this and that. They might be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. They don't have the full package. They might take games off here. You're not going to see it. LeBron is the last of our breed. If you watch LeBron the last 10 years, his 9 straight NBA Finals, all the games he played, go look at all the games he played going towards the NBA Finals, including all the Olympics. You can't hate on the man. So kudos to LBJ for doing what he's doing, and respect to him. So otherwise, like I said, it's one of those things where if you're gonna play the game, right? But we're seeing a change in the game. Adam Silver is obviously a players commissioner, where David Stern was for the owners and he was for the integrity of the game in terms of TV viewership. I don't know if most of you remember what he did 5-6 years ago when he fined the Spurs $250,000 for basically sitting out their entire team on a national televised game versus the Miami Heat. I remember that game like it was yesterday. I thought it was hilarious. Because if you really were going to do something, you would have fined him more and he would have told the players to get their tails on the court. So really nothing happened. Really nothing happened. So at the end of the day, folks, like I said, that's just my take on this whole situation. I still feel that Kawhi is one of the best players in the game right now. Him and LeBron are right there. I'm going to give the slight edge to LeBron. I think LeBron is the type of guy, he's able to tweak his game in certain ways to, make everything else around him, look good. They have a very good team. They're playing very good basketball. The chemistry is really good. So, LeBron right now is the man right now, but things could change. And I think with Kawhi, he's got to decide how to be logical with the games you're taking off. And I think he misses our guy here in Toronto, the doctor. I forget the guy's name. And I want to get the guy's name who basically orchestrated the best schedule so that this guy could play, 60 games and not miss a beat. So, I mean, it's just, it's one of those things at the end of the day, folks. I believe that Kawhi will be all right, but it's going to hurt them when it comes to the playoffs and seeding. You don't want to travel to Utah for Game 7. So that's just my take on the situation. It's interesting. So far this season's been very intriguing. Tonight the Clippers do play the Portland Trailblazers. Trailblazers need a win. They've kind of had an up and down season. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, those are two guys who could quickly turn on that heat and go, absolute, combust, sonic fire. So, they can go alpha in one moment. I mean, one of them gets hot, the other one picks it up. So, I think the Clippers need to be ready that everybody's gunning for them. So, we all know that. And I feel like so far the season has been a really good season. You're watching a few little surprises. You see a couple of guys in Miami, Tyler Hero. My next guy there in, I think it's Nunn is his name. If I don't get it right, I apologize. You got dude there in Charlotte Bacon. You got a few guys out there. And you know what? I got to give a second, and I got to give kudos for the Golden State Warriors, the young guys that are taking the opportunity to play. I mean, yeah, last night, Houston took the win from them, but they're playing hard every night. They're really, really, really competitive, and I like to see that sometimes, because for some of these guys, this is their last chance. If they don't get through this year, they're probably going to be playing in Europe next year or somewhere else. So for all the guys out there that are balling out right now, trying to keep themselves on the NBA roster, keep doing your thing. It's not easy. There's so many players out there just waiting. They're knocking on the door, trying to get in, trying to make that next step to get to that next level. It's really tough. So, Golden State Warriors basketball team right now, guys ain't gonna make the playoffs, but you guys are gonna do something. You're gonna steal some games, so that's a good look. So, RJ, I gotta send a shout out to my Knicks. RJ, I like what he's doing right now. We're 1-7, but there's a lot of upside. A loss is a loss. There's no such thing as a good loss. I saw somebody say that on Twitter today. Oh, it's a good loss. There's no such thing. But you could take positive things out of a loss. There's no such thing as a good loss. So there's a lot of improvement for the Knicks, but they have the players who are willing to compete and willing to play. So, but yeah. But folks, thank you very much for listening to this edition of the Genesis Podcast. This is a sports edition. I will be back with some more stuff, whatever it is, coming soon. But thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'm out. Guidance and blessings, and talk to you soon. Peace.